A national ID system is coming, and it's coming inside the Trojan horse of a COVID passport. Lock up your children and your medical history. Lock up your privacy and your liberty, because your government wants to make them all matters of public record. The worst part is, you don't even need a federal ID. You already know who you are, and you know you've come to take the gold pill. The two major parties in the media can no longer be expected to represent our interests. They control the information we receive in order to keep us comfortable with their profits and with their power. Comfort is not what I offer, only the truth, nothing more. The Biden administration has joined the worldwide push toward instituting a vaccine passport, a national identification system able to verify a citizen's COVID vaccination or natural immunity status. It's instructive for us to remember that an identification system initiative is not merely the latest chapter in the COVID saga. The COVID saga also is the latest chapter in the National ID System Initiative. This is because many in the government have wanted a national ID system for decades, and COVID presents an important opportunity to make that initiative a reality. Interest in these systems has been raised by new technologies and a wide variety of flexible applications, just exactly the factors that raise the problems with privacy and individual liberty. Last week, Governor DeSantis of Florida threatened to ban the use of such a passport in his state, and this week, Governor Abbott of Texas signed an executive order banning it in his state. Indeed, all Americans should be concerned for several problems which would be introduced by a federal ID system. First, it's divisive. Notwithstanding our government's usual Orwellian newspeak language, the purpose of the vaccine passport is not to bring us together by making it safer to travel and to congregate. The purpose is to divide us into two groups: those who are immune and therefore welcome in places that the government restricts, and the others, those who are not immune and therefore not quite as welcome. Of course, many in the private sector will succumb to political pressure, economic pressure, to also use the system. Imagine a conversation at a club on the weekend. "Sorry, dude, the club is only for cleans tonight. You'll have to come back on Monday when dirties are allowed." Second, it's flexible. A vaccine passport would introduce a vehicle for conveying a great deal more information than mere immunity status. Technologically, such a vehicle could just as easily deliver any other aspect of a citizen's medical history, or legal, financial, or political history. "Sorry, dude, tonight the club is only for verified Biden supporters." Third, such a system would be inherently unfair. Such a passport would contribute to the very divides we already have in our country and worldwide. Minorities, the less well off, and in some cases even older Americans can find it more difficult to get vaccinated. So do citizens in less wealthy countries and immigrants to our own country. "Sorry, dude, a translator will be here in just a minute to throw you out of the club." Fourth, it pressures. These divisions will create pressure to get vaccinated. Pressure that's frankly inappropriate for the government to impose. Look, I don't mind seeing Dr. Fauci on television expressing his opinion. After all, it is entertaining to see him trying to justify opposite points of view every few months. But the government goes too far when it effectively orders Catholics, for example, not to worry about the vaccine's use of stem cells, when it effectively orders pregnant women not to worry about obstetric anecdotes, or it effectively orders anti-vaxxers to just knuckle under. Sorry, Father O'Malley, no clubbing for you this weekend. Fifth, it's unlimited. Given the rapidly increasing difficulty of fighting fraud, the deployment of escalating technology may be required, perhaps even blockchain schemes that would make quite a bit of information available to quite a number of parties. Dude, why do you keep going to that skanky club on the other side of town? Sixth, it's global. The push towards systemic interoperability with other nations presents a host of issues surrounding data accessibility. Other nations are actually ahead of us in terms of deployment, so this matters. Israel, for example, already has a vaccine passport program in place. Dude, your wife is right now at a bar in Tel Aviv with Father O'Malley. And consider what would happen if interoperability were not achieved. Maybe that would be even worse. Sorry, dude, Israel is closed. Seventh, it's controlling. Once in the hands of government and the halls of power, who will decide where the passport will be needed? Will it be needed to travel? If so, to where? To attend events? Which ones? To qualify for government assistance? Which programs? Sorry, dude, dirties aren't getting unemployment insurance this month. Our government is not likely to resist the urge to institute a national vaccine passport, given the confluence of factors present today, the availability of information technology, the political correctness surrounding vaccinations will overwhelm voices of liberty. Our government has very little appreciation for the costs of denying select citizens access to various venues and services. Whether you measure those costs in terms of either lost privacy, lost fairness, lost business, lost society, or lost liberty. As libertarians, it's up to us to fight to keep the government from taking our privacy, our self-control, our very liberty. This won't be easy. Politics has become a battleground. On one side of this battle are politicians and pundits, journalists and jurists, regulators and revisionists who believe the government is better able to solve our problems than we are ourselves. On the other side of this battle are things like history, science, people like you, people like me, and common sense. Thanks for helping me make this sense a little bit more common. Thanks for coming to take the gold pill. Comfort is not what I offer, only the truth, nothing more.